It's Friday, and you know what that means. Friday Night SmackDown preview presented by Canva and also on Rumble, also on Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter, just kidding. Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter. Um, we are live on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and Facebook for episode 199 of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast. Also, the Friday Night SmackDown preview for March 20th, 2026. And this is going to be a great start to a beautiful Friday morning. Very cold down here in North Carolina on the way to Greensboro, which is close to where SmackDown is going to be tonight. They were just in Greensboro. No, they were just in. They were somewhere in North Carolina. Now they're back here in North Carolina for tonight's episode of SmackDown. And of course, I just recorded this, and it's so funny that Verizon is so bad. So there would be a lot of partnerships and a lot of things that I would promote and would be happy to partner with and join up and really push out. But Verizon will never ever be one of them because they are just truly terrible. I mean, 10 minutes, my first 10 minutes of driving, I'm on LTE and my service is absolutely trash. And then I start to record it via voice memo, and then I just go to put it over the graphics and call it a day. As I call out Verizon and tell them that they are just terrible, I automatically switch to 5G coverage. Now, as I'm saying this and as I'm going live, I'm dropping further and further down, dropping bars of 5G. So I don't know how or why I can't just do what I do every single day and just hit live and have my phone actually work to not disconnect in the middle of this. And then I choose to do it recorded and then just do more work and edit, cut it, whatever. So, number one, screw Verizon. They're terrible. Don't ever work with them. Don't ever give them your money. We're going to get that one out of the way. But a brand and place that you can give your money to is Canva, because that's how I make these great thumbnails, along with all my posts and everything, throwing the logos on and making the logos, everything. Canva is fantastic, and they recently dropped their affiliate program, and I'm doing my best to get into that. So that is the reason why you'll see presented by Canva down there. Also, shout out to No Dirt Sheets for Surfshark VPN. That's how you can watch tonight Friday Night SmackDown on Netflix instead of USA Network. And we will talk more about that here in the video. But shout out to London and No Dirt Sheets for the Surfshark VPN link. Also, shout out to my wonderful, amazing stepdaughter who is just 72 boxes away from her goal of 200 boxes sold for Girl Scouts. So that website will be down below in the description there. You can buy that ends on April 5th. So doing one final push out to get them sold for her. So 72 boxes away. It would be fantastic if we could hit that number for her and go forward and see what happens next year with Girl Scouts. But without further ado, announcements out of the way, partnerships out of the way, shout outs out of the way. We're going to start things off with the Friday Night SmackDown preview for March 20th, 2026, of course, presented by Canva. And again, Lenovo Center, Raleigh, North Carolina. We are just 29 days away from WrestleMania Saturday. So that is crazy to think about. And we, again, only have 5 matches made. Brock Lesnar and Obafemi was the 5th one. Of the other 4 are title matches, and there are a couple things that we could see tonight that would maybe lead to that could lead to a possible match being added to the WrestleMania card either on Saturday or on Sunday. So Friday Night SmackDown preview right here on Sleeper Sports Media. We start things off with the Women's Tag Team Championship, the Bellas versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend. It was revealed that the Bellas have signed a 2-year deal with WWE, and in hopes of one last final run. They did make it very well known after the Royal Rumble that they were coming for the tag titles, and they are getting their shot tonight in North Carolina at the Lenovo Center, after pretty much costing Alexa and Charlotte their tag title match last week. When they interfered, they will get a chance to take some gold home tonight, and we will see how that goes down. We will see what this final run is really going to be for the Bellas there. Hopefully it's fun. Um, it'll just add some spice to that women's tag team division up until they call up Fatal Influence, who should ultimately get caught up, and then I would think they should win the titles at WrestleMania. You can call them up right after Stand and Deliver, and then you can have them enter the multi woman tag match that hopefully, fingers crossed, that they do at WrestleMania. But Lash Legend, Nia Jax, the Bellas go down tonight. We also have the World Tag Team or the WWE tag titles go down tonight. MFTs versus R-Truth and Damian Priest. Damian Priest and R-Truth just won the gauntlet match and became number one contenders for the tag titles, and they will cash that in tonight on SmackDown. R-Truth being from North Carolina, that's no shocker there. But hopefully, at this point, let's put the titles on Priest and R-Truth. Get something a little different here. It is cool that all three tag team champions in WWE are part of the Samoan dynasty, the Anoa'i family, with the Usos, the MFTs, and then Nia Jax being all being tag champions. Um, but it's time. The MFTs, the whole MFT thing, it's running dry. It's running dry. It's running old, and it is time for something new. So, just like it was time for something new on Friday last week when Randy Orton viciously attacked and brutalized poor defenseless Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton will explain his actions tonight from last week. And WWE, they are diabolical for this picture. Um, they really posted the graphic and posted the segments and everything, three of them at least, and then they went back and changed the picture for Randy Orton to this one, which is absolutely hilarious. It is absolutely diabolical, and I 1000% love it. It's so good. So we will see that tonight, and we'll find out why Randy did what he did, as if we don't already know. Then we go over to Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. They will have this first matchup of probably a lot, the way that WWE likes to do things with a feud. I figured they would save this one for WrestleMania, but we could see this one multiple times. Not that we've never seen a feud multiple times before, but Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, I think will be the matchup at WrestleMania that is also added to the card. Again, 29 days away from Vegas, 29 days away from WrestleMania Saturday, from tonight, and we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how this one unfolds. If they decide to do like a double count out, if they just a DQ finish, and then that would prolong their feud and their rivalry, and then end up doing their however many match at WrestleMania to decide it all. And I think the match at WrestleMania will have the number one contendership stipulation there. Then the winner will then face either probably Cody, or Randy at Backlash for the WWE title. Had to get a drink of a nice, crisp, white monster. before going into this next one. Jelly Roll was on SmackDown last week to be there for both Randy and Cody. We saw Randy turn heel on Cody, and then he just snapped on everybody, pushing Jelly Roll down, pushing anyone down, shoving security out of the way. And then we saw Jelly Roll go to Cody's side and do the whole thing. So Kit Wilson will call out Jelly Roll tonight. This is setting up perfectly Royce Keys and Jelly Roll against The Miz and Kit Wilson at WrestleMania, which is going to be great. I mean, it's a way to introduce Royce Keys slowly over the next couple of months with pairing him with The Miz, and even Kit Wilson pairing him with The Miz, and just getting them all the knowledge in the world. Even Jelly Roll getting into the Miz vortex. There's no one better to learn from over the next couple of months, or next 2 months and a couple of weeks to build towards their matchup. That's being reported out there that's going to be the match added to WrestleMania. Royce Keys has been doing dark matches before SmackDown goes on the air, so just getting used to WWE production, how they do things and everything. It was apparently part of his contract that he would not start in NXT whenever he came over and signed with WWE, but we have yet to see him on the main roster, so I think he's going to go to be signed to SmackDown, and we might, hopefully we see that tonight. We have not seen him on WWE TV since the Royal Rumble, so like I said, he's only been doing dark matches and main event as well. So that goes down tonight. Kit Wilson calls out Jelly Roll, and then we will end things here with a tag match. Motor City Machine Guns taking on Fraxium live tonight. And the tag team division is heating up like it's never heated up before. Motor City Machine Guns have been at edge with each other. Johnny Gargano has been doing this whole thing of just being sad and planking on equipment crates. And Motor City Machine Guns were the first to be eliminated in the gauntlet match, and ever since then they've been at odds with each other. So they try to get back on the same page tonight, taking on Fraxium. Fraxium hopefully stacks a couple of wins and then gets themselves in line to take on hopefully R-Truth and Damian Priest for those tag titles. If not doing a multi-man ladder match and actually doing that at WrestleMania this year. I think every title, there's no reason why every title shouldn't be on the card for WrestleMania. The reports are saying that they will do Tiffany versus Julia for the women's U.S. title. I think that would be great. It would be a way to unria what they've already done with Tiffany Stratton, and she lost the title, and then they did a good job of immediately taking her out of the title picture, just for a little bit. Now putting her back into getting her a mid-card championship and just another title in general. I don't have any issue with that. I think that would be one way to end this terror reign of Julia having the U.S. title, but never, ever defending it. She's jumped in and been in tag matches with Kiana James. If anything, Kiana James should be the U.S. champion, and then it should be Tiffany and Kiana. But that is, again, just because Julia cannot speak on the mic to save her life. So that's why they're partnered up in the first place there. So women's U.S. title match, I'm guessing that one's going to go down at WrestleMania there with Tiffany and Julia. But yes, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, that goes down tonight on SmackDown. And that is going to do it for the SmackDown preview for March 20th, 2026, live at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. And that for episode 199, the rest of this episode, however long I choose to take it, I'm about 20 minutes away from work, so we'll go for another 20, and just let it be how it is at this point. But we will, of course, WrestleMania, again, 29 days away. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of matches that could be added, and should be added. A lot of matches that we think are going to get added, but will definitely not be added. The women's tag titles, they won't be on the card. I see the women's US. I see the women's Intercontinental. Those are going to be two that are added. I mean, I don't see how you don't have the women's tag titles on there on WrestleMania, along with both sets of the men's tag title. I mean, honestly, you could leave the SmackDown tag titles. You could leave that for the SmackDown before. They could go out there and do a great ladder match, and that it should be done on the SmackDown before. Honestly, I think it's so crazy how where we were with WrestleMania and what the matches were and when they were announced and when the feuds were actually feuding and set up. And also, how does Aleister Black go from feuding and talking with Randy Orton backstage to now with doing the same thing with Sami Zayn and quite literally just replacing Karrion Kross in the Sami Zayn vortex? I mean, that's crazy. So Aleister Black and Sami Zayn would be a match to add on WrestleMania, but I'm sure they're going to do that one on the SmackDown before, because why not? They apparently have to limit themselves to 13 matches exactly, or 14 matches exactly, 7 on each night. They're making a big deal about WrestleMania for an hour being on ESPN2 and then ESPN. Why not use that as the pre-show and have different matches on for that hour? I mean, you could have 3 hours or 3 matches on that hour, and you could then not have to basically spit in the faces of probably the women's tag titles and the WWE tag titles, by putting them on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. You could actually have them on the WrestleMania card. That's 3 matches right there: Sami and Aleister, the women's tag titles, and then the SmackDown tag titles. Because we know that the Usos are going to be on the WrestleMania card. We know that it's probably going to be against the Vision. If Braun Breaker is cleared before WrestleMania, which reports are out there saying that it's a possibility that he could actually be cleared before WrestleMania. I think that's what you do with Rollins, which I think it's looking that way, and that's why they did indeed have Obafemi answer Brock Lesnar's open challenge. But that's left to be seen. We'll see how that plays out Monday Night Raw. Of course, next week in Boston, we do have the Usos versus the Vision, as they try to regain their power, as they try to regain leverage and get a shot at those tag titles. Logan and Austin Theory being tag champs, I think would be great for both of them, and staying under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. I think with Rollins and Braun Breaker, that would be a great match as well. Obafemi and Brock Lesnar is going to be a banger. And then you have the 4 title matches. So roughly in there, I would say that's at least 14 to 17 matches. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee has to get made. I mean, you really could do the ladder match for the women's tag titles. There are so many options of actual good matches that could be added, but they're scared to do. They're scared to pull the trigger for WrestleMania. They're just scared. They are just scared. Unlike AEW and Tony Khan would never. They're gonna have. We're gonna know the matches that are gonna be on the pay per view, and that's a fact, as we just saw for Revolution. I mean, they're also not scared to add 75 matches for 0 Hour, and then start the pay per view off with the final 0 Hour match, have everyone brawling in the ring, and then actually start the pay per view. We saw that on Sunday as well. But the WrestleMania card, I hope they start actually making matches for that card so we can start rolling out those graphics. Make up their minds on the graphic design. I mean, I thought I was bad with going back and forth for the graphics and everything, but my God, they've changed the Roman and Punk graphic like 5 or 6 times in a matter of 5 weeks. Um, they gotta pick one, and it's cool that they're doing two separate ones for each night. Um, but I want to see them have the full match list. Like, let us know how many matches are going to be added. If it is going to be 14, I think that would be fine. 7 on each night. I think you could get away with. I think you could get away with 10 each night and doing 3 pre-show matches for for each night, and then 7 main card matches, equaling 10 per night. And that would be absolutely fine. But of course, they are scared, as we know, and that's probably not going to happen. So, um, but we will find out in 29 days because we are 29 days away from WrestleMania, and that is crazy to say. And then after that, we're on the road to Backlash, which is like 2 weeks later, I think, in May, middle of May. So, um, or 3 weeks later, I guess. So you're going to have a 3 week build after the biggest show of the year. I mean, it PLE overload, man. And the fact that we got to pay $33 for ESPN with a subpar, mediocre build like we've been getting is absolutely crazy. Um, and then for Backlash, we go to Clash in Italy, which is going to be later in the summer. But it's being reported that Night of Champions was supposed to take place in June over in Saudi Arabia, but that is likely to be uh, postponed or rescheduled or relocated. We will have a new venue. I think they're going to announce that at WrestleMania weekend. Well, that's when we're going to find out that for sure. That I mean, they might announce Night of Champions leading up to Mania and then announce where it's going to be at during WrestleMania weekend. So that will be fun to see where they go with that. Money in the Bank in September is going to be in New Orleans. Clash in Italy, I think that's at the end of August. And then, of course, SummerSlam, Minneapolis at the beginning of August, 2 nights as well. Hopefully that build is better than the SummerSlam build from last year. We know that we were, of course, stuck in the Cena Cody vortex leading up to SummerSlam and Cena turning face again, but Cody also not turning heel. So how they got away with doing the whole double face, I'll never understand. I'll never truly understand how they can fathom and get away with everything that they say. Um, and I apologize for the allergies and sounding so stuffy. I don't know what it is in the mornings down here, but I'm always congested and just it is so much pressure in my nose and everything, and it's crazy. It is crazy that I have not fully adjusted to the weather down here, but we make do with what we got. And like I said, we're about 10 minutes away from work, so we'll try to go 6 more minutes and then wrap this one up. This is episode 199 of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast, the preview for SmackDown, then just predicting WrestleMania matches that could be added, should be added, and then ultimately won't be added if we're just being honest. So, Revolution once again was absolutely the best pay per view of the year. I don't know how WrestleMania is going to top it. I'm sure they can. They're going to get a lot of points from production. I know that Allegiant Stadium is gigantic, and they have so much room for a cool stage design, a cool concept, entrance ramp being huge. They could do a lot of stuff to make up for the subpar builds. which I'm sure they will do. They'll make sure of it. Hopefully, with Roman facing CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title, when he wins that on WrestleMania Sunday, and the closing scene of WrestleMania is the Usos and Roman holding all three titles again. Hopefully, that will bring back that big fight feel on Monday Night Raw, and then just going forward, we can get back to the feeling of back in the day, the pandemic era, the tribal chief era. Not that era is done, but we we need it. We need it bad because that big fight feel has been gone for a long time, and ultimately, it needs to come back. Um, it just needs to come back. So, uh, other news I did want to talk about: Tony Khan apparently placed a bid for WWE in 2023 when it was up for sale, $6.9 billion, which is absolutely insane, and ultimately fell short. And we know what went down and who ended up successfully purchasing and buying it and everything, and what it's become now, and everything else. Um, Tony Khan buying WWE, I don't know. It's hard to picture and imagine what that would have what that would have then looked like. Um, Ultimately, I think we're better off how we are. And everyone can say whatever they want to say about TKO and who's actually calling the shots and this and that. Same thing with the UFC. You can say Dana's not really involved anymore. If he's not really involved anymore, then what's he still doing there? If Triple H isn't really involved anymore, then why is he still there every single week? Um, let's make it make sense. I mean, they're still their own things. Yes, they have to answer to shareholders and they have to ultimately do things that will make shareholders happy. But week in and week out, day in and day out, every single week, I think Triple H and Dana White are a big part of what makes WWE and UFC go and tick. The Paramount Plus deal, I will agree with what Ronda Rousey said at the press conference a couple weeks ago. The Paramount Plus deal is making the fights not have to be, again. UFC is losing that big fight feel. Not that I was ever a big UFC fan before, but the last, 3 months now of events on Paramount Plus, and there has not been one fight where I'm like, oh my god, I have to see that because it's just everywhere, and I'm seeing it everywhere, and I'm learning about it, and I know who these two fighters are, and whatever. UFC has lost that big fight feel, and they've had it lost for quite some time now. So, 4 minutes away from work here, about 2.5 minutes. I'll give it, and then we will, of course, be back later today. Get some shorts out. Hopefully, WWE will post their vertical graphics for SmackDown tonight. I can get that short made. Hopefully, these allergies go away and clear up before then as well. So that is going to do it. We're in the final minute here. Again, link below for Mariah's cookie store. You can order 4 boxes and get free shipping, I think it is, or something to do with 4 boxes. But she's just 72 boxes away, so that would be really cool if we can get that number for her. But that is going to do it for episode 199 of the Sleeper Sports Media podcast. I am Nick Wheatosh for Sleeper Sports Media. Also, shout out again to No Dirt Sheets for Surfshark VPN. Friday Night SmackDown tonight, 8 p.m. You can watch on Netflix if you have Surfshark VPN. If not, you'll be watching on USA Network. And we'll be live posting Friday Night SmackDown as we have done all this week, other than other than TNA, like I said, we're dropping coverage for TNA. The production is just not there. I know they added matches. They actually add matches, but they make the graphics incredibly hard to find. And there's never really answer for any media needs or media access and sign up. So we'll be dropping coverage for TNA and just focusing on the main two. The number one, number two, which is of course AEW and WWE. Then that is going to be that. We will see you later in the shorts that come out later today. If anything big news wise happens, I will of course be reporting that out here live on the YouTube channel, the Rumble channel, the Facebook posts, and everything under the umbrella that is Sleeper Sports Media. So this is Nick Wietosh of Sleeper Sports Media. I'll see you in the next one, and here we go.